I'm speechless. This is now number one. This has bumped every other campsite I've ever been at. This is stunning. If there's ever been a place that's provided me endless inspiration, it would be Alaska. Something about the towering snow-capped mountains, the vast and wild landscapes, the challenges, the rewards. This is a place you can rediscover yourself and push past boundaries you never thought possible while returning home a better person than the one you left as. Many of you may remember our travels here back in September of 2022. My mom, otherwise known as Camp Chef Mom, and I came here for the first time embracing a 2-week adventure exploring this beautiful area. Now with the start of 2024, I have the opportunity and privilege of sharing my love of Alaska with my co-pilot in life, Shelby. For the next 7 days, we'll experience firsthand the challenges winter can bring here in the far north. Though before we dive in, let's catch you up on where we started.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta, the health and...
Our journey begins late evening on a traditional Seattle weather day. By flying into Anchorage, we save the time and resources it takes visiting Alaska by air, as opposed to the long drive from the lower 48. With our itinerary planned out and eagerly waiting to go, we came across one of the oddest flight delays I've yet to experience.
That didn't work, so we're going on to the next step. So we'll keep you posted, but we're going to be stuck here for the time being. So the next thing I'm looking at is the sensors, I guess, and so we'll see how it goes.
Apparently, somebody forgot to empty the holding tanks for the el baños, or restrooms, at the back of the plane. Without checking the obvious, the maintenance teams and pilots did a complete unplug and plug back in to restart the plane. This included the engines, electrical, ventilation, and everything in hopes of clearing the air of the sensors. This unfortunately pushed our arrival out much further than anticipated, and quite honestly provided a good laugh at the situation. Though after sitting at the gate for well over an hour, the issue was finally resolved and we were soon airborne. There he is! Look at this! This is our new ride for... What's up, man? Dude, it is cold.
It's tropical, man. Come on. How you doing, buddy?
You're doing well.
Kelly here. How are you?
Look at this beast. Oh, wow. She's like, oh, look at this Overlander. And I'm like, no way. Just, casual 2 in the morning, and we got a moose right here. Look at that.
That's a big guy.
That's Alaska.
That's
awesome. That's awesome.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, just no big deal.
That's what you do.
Welcome. That's awesome. Needless to say, it felt incredible to be back in Alaska. A huge thank you goes to both Craig and Brooke, the owners of Alaska Overlander, for not only picking us up from the airport at 2 a.m., but letting us crash with them to get a jump start later that day. Though I'll be honest, the excitement was really to see Milo again. With the morning slipping away from us and still needing to hit the grocery store, it was time to get acquainted with our new home before setting out. Allow me to introduce you to Kodiak, a 2023 Toyota Tundra TRD off-road outfitted with all the bells and whistles, making travel any time of year very welcoming. The main showcase here is the Alyeska Canopy Camper. This will serve as our retreat during the evening, not only for sleeping, but cooking small meals, offloading footage at night, and providing a general living space. From keeping gear management in check with the Goose Gear drawer systems, having plenty of room in the fridge thanks to the Dometic 95 liter, a Webasto heating system that will keep us warm on those frigid Alaska nights, which, side note, can be controlled via Bluetooth so you don't have to get out of bed should you want to turn up or down the heat. There's also a RedArc Red Vision system that powers numerous auxiliary items such as lighting, charging ports, an air compressor, and much more. On the outside, we have recovery gear in arm's reach, well, if you're tall enough to grab it, that is, powerful lighting for better visibility on the road and trails, and even a winch should situations call for it. I'll be the first to admit, this build is absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see how it will handle for our trip. Though stay tuned, as we'll be showcasing all these items in more detail later on.
Some fun?
Mario.
You want to have some fun? We can bring your stick. Yeah, we can bring your stick. You want to bring your stick? Let's go.
There's so much space. Oh my gosh, it's so big in here.
We don't even have enough stuff to fill it.
So much room for activities. It's the best. We did our walkthrough. We're loaded up. Grocery store, camp. Ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. I like this room. See, when you're small and you have this much space, it feels massive compared to the Tacoma that I had before. This is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Still love my Jeep though. All the people that are commenting already. This is just nice.
It's a nice little escape at times.
Yes. Feeling like we have a mansion on wheels, we were bound to load up on groceries for the trip. Now, I'll be honest, we may have done some serious improvisation on meals for this one. With the chaos of schedules back home, prepping for our arrival here, we may have had an oversight on what we'd be making for dinner each day. So, in a relative frantic hurry to make camp before dark, we gathered some essentials of one-pan wonders and called it good. With not knowing 100% for sure where we'd end up camping due to the heavy amount of snowfall, I wanted to have plenty of time for alternatives, and with what happened next, I'm glad we did. Man, oh man, is it good to be back. This is awesome. Going to a spot that Mom and I went to when we were here in fall of 22, and hopefully I can show Shelby this particular spot because it's amazing. But with the snow, we'll see what we can get into. But either way, the mountains here are just absolutely incredible on this crystal clear day.
Very clear.
Love
Very
it.
beautiful.
All right, so we've made it to the spot that I wanted to take Shelby here on the lake, and there is no lake. It's completely snowed and frozen over. And for those of you who saw our series back in September, a couple years ago, Camp Chef Mom and I, we came out here and camped right on this point, right on the lake during fall, and the colors and everything was just so beautiful here. And I knew coming in the winter would be iffy if we could make it or not, and I walked down. I didn't bring the truck in yet to see and scope out the very short little road in to get right on the lake, and I don't know. It's outfitted with everything you can imagine of all the suspension and tires and max tracks and winch and all that stuff, but we are by ourselves out here, and once I get right on the water's edge, the snow is just very soft. And even me with my very lightweight, I'm already sinking through just stepping on it. So can't imagine what a full-size Tundra fully loaded is going to do. And it's even a very slight uphill getting back out. So even if we did get down, it's easy with gravity, but coming back up the next morning might be a challenge. So I'm not sure. I don't want to wimp out, but man, I'd also don't want to put us behind tomorrow because we do have some big plans. So I don't know, this is tough. Since we had already made the effort of getting here, we took a few minutes to stew on the decision while checking out this familiar scenery and the cold, wintry landscape. It's incredible how drastic places can look once the snow falls. So after taking it all in, we came to our decision. All right, let's see if I'm gonna regret this. Here we go. Even though it was a very short drive down to the lakeshore, I took all the precautions and measures before heading in, being that we were solo. This included airing down the tires for better float and traction on the snow, double checking no issues with the winch, and making sure I had the right key to unlock the max tracks, or more importantly, that the locks didn't freeze. So with all that out of the way, we headed in. So as I thought, snow is just really soft, and when we came down, we didn't push it, but I definitely felt the driver front sink in because of the weight. So I think what we're going to do is max track forward so we can back up and reassess. While it may not look like much, heavy trucks and snow don't always mix, especially coming down a hill sinking the front tires. The key was knowing we were stuck and not continuing to spin the tires, which would only dig them deeper. In this situation, I always reach for the max tracks first. With a little effort and planning, you'd be amazed how well traction boards can work on getting you out of non-ideal situations. So as I predicted when I walked down earlier, it's soft. We got the Tundra stuck a little bit on the front. We're just max tracking right now. I think we're gonna just pull forward, back up, and realign with the hill to get it out, so it's not more work in the morning. But yeah, nice way to keep warm here in this very cold evening in Alaska. Awesome day one here. Oh no.
I don't even know.
So I think that is the sheer weight of the truck and cold just absolutely shattered those. Craig, I will buy you a new set of max tracks. That's on me, man.
Oh, wait.
Did you find it?
No, I didn't find it. That's ice.
All right, well, we'll dig all our stuff up.
Wait.
Oh man, that's 100% on me. That is what not to do. Oh gosh. I'm so sorry, Craig. I will get you a new set. Oh man. We were in a tight bind. That, it doesn't look like much, but it's like moon dust soft. So it's very sinkable, which I thought was gonna happen, but I also thought we could do it because look at this view But instead of battling this in the morning when we have a very early start, we're just gonna go ahead and find a different spot. After collecting our pieces of the single broken max track, we decided to venture towards another area. After seeing how fast the truck sank in the snow and not being able to drive far enough out towards level ground, we moved on knowing an early morning awaited us. Regardless, I still see this as a great learning lesson and honored to be among the first for getting Kodiak stuck. We ended up finding camp just outside the town of Hope. While it was a little longer of an evening to get there, the difficulty was just finding places. With how much snow had fallen and how it was plowed along the roads, many side pull-offs were simply inaccessible, or at least without the possibility of getting stuck again. So we played it safe with an area that was not only protected from the winds, but would be a great launching point for today. Today was all about activities. For myself, I packed the skis to check off a new place on the list, though for Shelby, she went with more of a relaxing route. What are you doing today?
I'm going to the spa.
Going to the spa.
I want to stay warm.
Since growing up, I've had a strong passion for skiing. Being able to visit Alaska and now combine my love of overlanding in this, I wouldn't have it any other way. And to top it off, both Craig and Brooke made some time in their schedule to rip on the hill with me, making for one of the most memorable days with epic views. Such a beautiful view. Oh my God. Man, look at that. That's amazing. Look at that view. Heck yeah. Awesome stuff, guys. That was great. Love it. That was great. What an absolutely incredible day 2 here, doing some winter exploring in Alaska. Met up with Craig and Brooke of Alaska Overlander. They're the owners. And we were ripping around doing some skiing on Alyeska, and beautiful bluebird day, absolutely amazing. This trip is just off to a great start. So I'm gonna pick up Shelby now from her spa treatment for today and see where the rest of the day is gonna take us. There she is. Hi, babe. How was your spa? With plenty of daylight left, we had our sights set for visiting the city of Whittier. This would be a first for me traveling here, though if there was any indication of the scenery ahead, the drive alone to the tunnel was absolutely amazing. Taking the Portage Glacier Highway from Anchorage, you must travel through the 2.5-mile long Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel. This one-lane tunnel travels in both directions at alternating times for both vehicles and trains. While there's a toll to drive it, it's honestly a unique experience you should do at least once, if only to say you drove the longest highway tunnel in North America.
Good, how are you?
It was incredible to witness firsthand the engineering efforts to construct the tunnel through the mountain. Watching the daylight fade away in the mirrors to only seeing the lights above and the other vehicles ahead was pretty unique. It wasn't until the very last stretch that we could see the tiniest glimpse of light at the other end of the tunnel. So we're in Whittier, and we knew of a spot at the end of the road, kind of outside of town. I don't think that's going to be doable. The road did say enter at your own risk, and on top of that, right before I think it hits a certain section, what is cleared is no longer, and it's basically just completely snowed out, and it looks even worse than, ooh, the wind's whipping too. It looks even worse than the spot on the lake yesterday. So we'll check out the town and probably just see what plan B looks like for camp tonight. It's a cold, windy one. Whew, time to get back in. With the snow conditions and how deep everything was, we unfortunately struck out camping here. Even nearby campgrounds were completely closed as alternatives. So in an effort to still check things out, we went back into town. What I wasn't expecting was the seasonal closures for nearly every business and restaurant. Besides a local market and other small shops, there wasn't much to explore here in the winter months besides the limited scenery you can get to. While it was a little bit of a bummer, I'm glad we at least got a map on the way in, knowing we can come back when things thaw out and open up again. Regardless, it was a fun experience even while being frozen from the wind chill. Woo. It is windy. Oh man.
Always doing it for the shot.
Oh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Is it cold?
I should feel my hands right now.
Your hands? Oh, burn. Woo!
Oh.
Couldn't pass up an opportunity to go get on the dock.
Got a cool photo. Knowing our camping options were pretty limited and not really feeling cooking dinner, we headed back to the same spot from last night in the town of Hope, knowing we'd at least have a place to sleep and a great restaurant to eat at. Good morning. It's a brisk -8 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and we're kicking off what is going to be an absolutely epic day. If you couldn't tell by now, we're not ones to sit around for too long. With limited time in our schedule here, we're making the most of it, and for this morning we have plans to meet up with Craig and Brooke once again to witness the ceremonial start of the famous Iditarod sled dog race. If you're unfamiliar with the Iditarod, it's an annual long-distance race held in Alaska, starting from Anchorage to Nome, covering 938 miles. Teams with 12 to 16 dogs compete in this race in some of the harshest winter conditions of blizzards, whiteouts, and gale force winds. The ceremonial start happens in Anchorage, followed by the official start in the city of Willow the following day. With this annual race starting back in the 70s, there's an obvious reason why crowds from all over flock to witness this spectacular event. Though the key here for us was to follow Craig at 6'7", as he easily cleared the way for us smaller folks to get through the crowds. Alright guys, what day is this? Day 3?
Yeah.
Day 3.
Day 3.
Alright guys, day 3 here in Alaska. We're in Anchorage doing the ceremonial start of the Iditarod. And as you can see, teams are coming by. Look at that. Super awesome, fantastic experience. And can't ask for a more perfect weather and day. It's a little cold, -7 wind chill, but we're out here having a great time. Awesome adventure here in Alaska. Great to be back. As if the positive and happy vibes couldn't get any higher, we were soon following Craig for what would be the most memorable and unique camping experience I've personally had yet. For starters, we needed to get the tires aired down once again before setting out on the more or less trail that awaited us. Milo, we ready to go on the trail, bud? Are we ready? Are we ready? Do it. Don't be scared, Milo. He's like, I'm cold. I need help. It's okay, bud. It's like, I'm cold. Come on, let's just go already. Now you might be asking yourself, how did we get so lucky to have the endless one-on-one time with Craig during this trip, especially on a trail like this? Besides just being an incredibly awesome guy to be around, Craig wanted to showcase the finer parts of Alaska to us firsthand. However, we need to remember Kodiak is a rental vehicle, and because of that, we wanted to apply the same principles to this rig as we do with our own. In essence, taking care of it as best as possible while still having a little fun. This trail navigates not only very overgrown and tight sections, but also crosses numerous river channels that at this time of the year are typically frozen, though not always a guarantee. Because of these factors and the risk involved getting here, we had the tremendous blessing of being escorted by Craig, who not only knew this area far better than we could, but was also semi-comfortable in allowing a full-size truck to navigate these trails from safely behind. It goes without saying, we certainly wouldn't have ventured here unless given approval by the powers that be. So if you find yourself up here exploring Alaska, just be sure to respect the trail and vehicle so those after you can enjoy it too. Now let's see if we can keep the branches away from Kodiak for the remaining way. It wasn't long before we were mostly clear from the wooded area and in open land. With being down to my last battery for the drone and camera, it was all I could do to keep everything running with how much footage was starting to collect. Though witnessing the scenery for this part of the trail, I think you guys will understand. I'm speechless. This is now number one. This has bumped every other campsite I've ever been at. This is stunning. Thank you so much for taking us here. Oh my God.
My pleasure.
Wow. Now, if this didn't top it off, we all piled into Craig's play rig to get a closer look at the glacier below and to quite literally drive on the frozen river. To say I was in awe of this scenery would be an understatement. Here we go, walking into an ice cave. Look at this. It's slippery. Gotta be careful. Look at this. And it goes all the way up. How incredible is that? Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Craig for the evening. Without having a camping setup, or more importantly, a way to keep warm with the negative overnight temperatures that awaited us, we were on our own until morning. So with a quick setup of camp, Shelby and I huddled in the camper to thaw out and take in what was an incredible day. Beer me.
Oh, I got a beer.
Beer.
Beer me.
Boom. Here we go. What you got?
Well, not a beer, but
Not a beer. Mixed berry lemonade.
yeah, I'm gonna try that.
So as a perfect example, this is where the AluCab Canopy Camper comes in clutch. It's absolutely freezing outside. The wind is not helping at all, and we're starving. Craig just dropped us off on the glacier for this incredible camp. So to get a little snack in before sunset, we came inside the canopy camper. We got the Webasto heater cranking up, and again, we can move the sleeping platform up so we can stand in here. We got a little meat and cheese board going on, a couple drinks. This is living on a glacier, hanging out. We're warm, we're comfortable. This is probably the most epic camp I've ever probably have stayed at. This is absolutely incredible. Craig, cannot thank you enough for leading the way out here. Beautiful. This right here is one of those priceless moments. This encompasses my passion and love for everything I do. Alaska, you have left me speechless. there is something truly magical about waking up next to a frozen river with giant glacier formations right off in the distance. With having one of the more memorable nights sleep, with temperatures down in the negative 7 degrees Fahrenheit, this was certainly a morning to remember. This spot easily found its way at the top of my list, and I couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity of being here. Unfortunately, our time here would be finding its end. With only 7 days on the schedule for our visit in Alaska, we had a lot more ground to cover and new places to experience. Because of how involved and being unfamiliar with the route back to the trailhead, Craig had sent a few folks from the shop to help guide us out. If you remember, this particular trail involves numerous water crossings with the status of actually being frozen up to debate, along with endless routes that navigate very tight passages through overgrown trees. With driving a full-size rental truck and leaning more on the heavier and wider side, we needed to exercise a bit of caution, though there might have been 1 or 2 snags along the way. With taking a slightly different exit route, we found ourselves in a unique situation. When attempting to cross a very small and slightly frozen creek, the weight of the tundra broke through the ice, leading the 2 front tires to slightly fall in. While we were lucky the water wasn't deep, it was a quick reminder how fast things can turn when out here. Thankfully, being in a group with available recovery gear, a quick winch to get the tundra unstuck was all that was needed. It was clear to see this area was a definite go-to for all the locals. Seeing those with vehicle builds of all shapes and sizes, and even trail trophies, driving together for a common goal of simply getting out and experiencing what's around you. Another example of why I love this community. Soon after, we made our way back to the trailhead to air up the tires and say our goodbyes. A huge thanks goes out to Taylor, Josh, and Justin for helping us navigate back, even despite the small recovery. From here, Shelby and I were bound to try and get a general sense of where camp might be for the evening, so we could head back to that said spot after venturing around the area. With the goal to begin traveling further north, we decided to peek into Hatcher Pass, starting from the west entrance at Willow. Due to how the road was plowed, getting anywhere on a side spur road was not going to happen. With snowbanks as tall as the truck, and not really wanting to test how buoyant Kodiak would be, we decided to head back and push further north to a more familiar stomping ground in the town of Talkeetna. One of Shelby and I's first trips together was taking a spontaneous adventure for an extended weekend in Alaska. While here, we booked a couple nights staying at this cozy cabin called the Blueberry Chalet. Needless to say, we fell in love with it and have many fond photos of our time spent here. So with us passing through, we had to take the opportunity for a quick visit. After reaching out to the owners to make sure it was okay, they were more than happy of us passing through again and even left a couple snacks upon our arrival. So with a late night of kind of how the day has progressed, we're working our way to camp at an old reliable spot at the Riley Creek Campground in Denali National Park. It's about 2.5 hours from where we're currently at in Talkeetna, and simply because of how much snow there is, dispersed camping is a little bit hard to find in the areas that we've been. So we're gonna go there because the next day we have plans to go to Fairbanks, which will put us in a good spot time-wise. So this will work out great. We'll have a nice place to camp, and then we might even be able to sleep in tomorrow. So it'll be awesome. So we'll work our way there and see what the rest of the trip brings. There's something nice about knowing you have an almost for sure place to park and set up camp, especially in weather conditions like this. The Riley Creek Campground in Denali National Park offers a limited number of sites at a first come, first served basis. While all amenities are closed until resume of peak season, the campground itself is free this time of year. Just follow the signs showing which spots are open, or just look for the spots that aren't completely buried in snow. Good morning, everybody. We are currently at the Riley Creek Campground here in Denali National Park. We didn't know, but this campground's actually open year-round, as opposed to our last visit. They have select handful of sites that they actually clear and shovel all the snow out of the way so you can actually park your vehicle, your trailer, or your camper. So it's really nice to be here having a for sure spot, since the snow is just so much that a lot of the side roads are just inaccessible. So coming here late last night after a 2.5 hour drive from Talkeetna, this worked out perfect. Backed in, got the heater cranking, and fell asleep comfortably in this arrangement that Kodiak on the Toyota Tundra has set up for us. Absolutely love our whole setup. Everything that we need is just right in there. Even cook inside, sleep, offload footage, everything we need in the comforts of a heating system, thanks to the Webasto inside that alu cab canopy camper. But our plan for today is to drive up to Fairbanks. Got another 2.5 hour drive or so. We have a few things on the schedule and agenda that we want to do up there before our trip concludes here in literally just a matter of a few days. So it's incredible how fast time has flown by, but it has been an amazing trip. I'm almost lost for words here. It's just an amazing trip of everything up in the Alaska winter, especially with this incredible weather that we've been having. So awesome stuff. Can't wait to see where the rest of our days take us. As we made our way further north, we wanted to take the opportunities where we could to explore open side roads. Being that they were far and few between due to the snow, we wanted to maximize our exploring options and scout future campsites. For this road, I'm glad we did. However, it almost came at the cost of a very valuable piece of filming equipment. Strong wind warning.
Yeah?
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Almost lost it.
You found it.
Nothing's worse when you're low on battery and it disconnects from signal. Scariest moment of your life, especially in this one. But I got it. It comes as a good reminder that sometimes pushing things a bit too far for the shot can have its drawbacks, especially with the heart-sinking feeling of a lost drone. Though with the crisis averted and all put away safely, we continued on our journey. We had a great recommendation from Craig to check out the World Ice Art Championship held in Fairbanks. Even though the actual events of sculpting the ice had already taken place, public entry to view all the pieces were still open. Now, coming from someone whose art abilities stop at making snowmen in the front yard, I can't begin to imagine the thought process and extreme planning for detail when it comes to ice sculpting, especially knowing you can't erase and simply start over. There are multiple competing classes from individual pieces to teams. Given only a set period of time to create, these folks worked tirelessly into the night with sub-freezing conditions adding to the pressure. Now for me, each exhibit was a true showcase of art no matter what place they ended up being ranked, while making for a very unique experience to have taken a part of, including the more interactive exhibits of ice ping pong, mini golf, chess, and of course, the ice slide. After a quick lunch made in the warmth of the Alaska camper, we were soon venturing further out towards Chena Hot Springs. While this place is certainly more on the touristy side, it was a fun area to at least visit and experience once. Discovered back in August 5th, 1905 by two gold mining brothers Robert and Thomas Swan, Chena Hot Springs has evolved over the years to welcoming visitors from all over the world to embrace and experience the creative powers of the hot waters while getting a chance to view the aurora lights. While here, we not only got to enjoy the hot springs under the cold winter night sky, but also took on a brief tour of the Aurora Ice Museum, known as the world's largest ice environment. While the tour certainly had interesting pieces to check out, the real win was the Appletini at the Ice Bar, made from a one-of-a-kind ice glass. And with the pace this trip has been, I couldn't help but try one. Not too long after, we were bound for finding camp once again. We ended up finding camp at a hiking trailhead not too far from the hot springs. Being the only ones there in a wide open parking lot, it seemed to do the trick for a late night arrival. What was pleasant was waking up to stunning views of the surrounding landscapes and even getting our first snowfall of the entire trip. There's something surreal about the silence snow brings, especially when out here. As for today though, we would soon be making our trek back south, as tomorrow would be our final day here in Alaska. So with a quick pack down, we were back on the road once again. I'll be the first to admit, driving Kodiak in these conditions was a ton of fun. Even better to see Shelby get more comfortable behind the wheel as well for a truck of this size. Though as we left the Fairbanks area, we pushed on with a 3-hour drive to Healy. There was one particular spot from our days before when exploring here that I wanted to camp at. Better yet, just to get into camp a little earlier to relax a bit. All right, guys, 15-degree wind chill, and we found camp just outside of Healy, which is south of Nenana and north of Denali National Park. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Been here once before, so I thought this would be a nice campsite for tonight, and it certainly is. The landscape behind me is absolutely amazing. This is going to put us in a good spot for tomorrow because unfortunately our trip is coming to an end, so we need to head back to Anchorage then before flying out. But otherwise, this trip here for a week-long embracing Alaska in the heart of winter has been so incredible and such an experience. I can't wait to begin editing all this footage. It's just absolutely beautiful to be here. So with that and the conclusion of our trip, we're gonna go keep warm inside the camper, maybe think about dinner, enjoy a little sunset here before long, and see where tomorrow takes us. But it's been incredible so far. Sadly, today is our final day here in Alaska. With the late night flight out heading back to Seattle, Washington, we needed to make the final 4.5-hour push to Anchorage for returning Kodiak and getting all our belongings organized. However, similar to our last visit here, Craig and Brooke graciously invited us to enjoy dinner with them before flying out. As for dinner this evening, we had our sights set on a local favorite pizza place called Moose's Tooth. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend checking them out, as they are certainly one of the more tastier pizzas I've had.
The crusty crab pizza is the
It's amazing how fast time flies when you're having fun. 7 days here felt like only a couple, and before we knew it, we were once again back at the airport for our departure. I can't thank enough Craig and Brooke and all the team of Alaska Overlander for helping make this trip so memorable. From our time spent skiing on the hill, experiencing the start of the Iditarod, camping next to a glacier, and all the incredible adventures there in between, this was a trip of a lifetime. If you're like me and limited on vacation for sneaking away from the 9 to 5, be sure to check out Alaska Overlander for your next trip here in the far north. From top-tier 4x4 vehicle rentals, outstanding service, and having everything you need for a memorable experience no matter the season, they make getting out and exploring incredibly easy. As always, I sincerely appreciate all of your support. It truly means the world. Though until next time, safe travels.